Hello Booktube! I've decided I'm going to do the new to Booktube tag, which I got from Between the Chapters. So let me just rock through these 15 questions and see if I can get it done. Where are you joining us from? I'm joining you from Victoria, BC, an island on Vancouver Island, an island in the Pacific Ocean. How old are you? Damn old, at least, for all this newfangled technology stuff. I'm 49. Uh, why did you join Booktube? I joined Booktube to hopefully figure out how to talk in a intelligible manner in clear and complete sentences. Yeah, some work to do. Um, what's the meaning behind your channel name? Which, unless it's your name, and it's the name I'm using online, so it's just the name I'm using online. Jay Shay, that's me. Hey. What type of books do you want to talk about? I read probably mostly science fiction and fantasy literature, uh, some nonfiction, some poetry, hardly any mystery or horror, just, rare outliers on that thing. And I'm gonna talk about what I read. I'll see if I might review every book I read. I might review most of them. Hopefully some of them, most of them, because I'm not a super fast reader, so if I'm going to have content, I'll actually have to, and I just don't want to have blather videos all the time. Not that I don't find actually a lot of people's blather videos to be the most entertaining thing on their channels, but I'm going to try and do actual have a good proportion of this be reviews of books I'm reading. Who are some of your favorite authors? And I just wrote down a list. Proust in translation. Terry Pratchett, not the early ones and not really the later year ones, but there's a good big solid core in there of Terry Pratchett, which is just fun. I enjoy. Douglas Adams, Diana Wynne Jones, Samuel R. Delaney, Vikram Seth, Joanna Russ, Nicole Griffith, Lewis Grassic Gibbon, Doris Lessing. There's tons and tons of people I love and that I've left off the list. This is like, I guess, it's funny. There's books that are like, oh, this is a classic book. And then there's books like, oh, I enjoy these books. Like the Terry Pratchett aren't high literature, but they're smart and they're funny and they're super enjoyable to read. I probably will actually read them. And I'm not a big rereader of books. I haven't actually brought myself to reading his latter book, all of his latter books yet, because I'll get into that at some other point. See, complete sentences. What's the last book you read? Born by Jeff Vandermeer, which you can check out my review of on this channel. What are you currently reading? I'm reading The Decameron by Boccaccio, I think, and Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, both of which maybe there'll be reviews coming soon. You never know. What do you use for bookmarks? I use bookmarks or library receipts or little homemade art cards. Show us your current TBR pile. There it is. What do you prefer, hardcover or paperback? Definitely paperback, just because I want something light that I can hold in my hand and that I could carry around. And I'm not, as long as it's a good way of getting the words to me. I'm not really that picky. If the book is pretty, I'll take a pretty book, but if it's cheap and mobile, I'll take that over it any day, so I don't have to spend as much money. Ebook or physical? Going a lot more ebook lately. It's not that I don't mind physicals, but it's just like I can get ebooks are just so convenient, and ebooks I can carry on my phone, or I can have them on my Kobo. Phone is great because then I can just pull it out anytime and read it, because I was one of those kids who's just always had a backpack to carry my book around with me at all times, and now I've just got my phone, which is wonderful. So I'm definitely a believer of the happy coexistence between the two, though of my own personal choice. You go on to the next thing of owning or borrowing, and I'm much heavier on the borrowing at the moment, because as you get old, kiddies, you find that you just get more and more stuff. And I've decided, hey, I've carried all these books around with me from place to place, and I've just had to move to Victoria. And it's like, why do I have all these books? like I have a book that I read once 6 years ago. I'm not going to reread for a heck of a long time. I'm not that big of a rereader. So why keep it with me? If I want it when I want it, I'll go out and buy it again. So I'm very much of borrowing books and divesting myself of the books I have. Anything behind me here, I'm just going to read for the most part. They'll be, that's the thing, for the most part. But I'm going to, for the rest, they're just going to get donated and let go back into the system. What book or series got you into reading? It's like my parents got me into reading, I suppose. All my earliest memory is us all going to our separate corners for our quiet hour where we all got to read our books, or for me, it's probably picture books. Independent reading, I guess I was reading Narnia, the Narnia series. I was reading, ordering, the Scholastic series is ordering like the Great Brain books and the early Gordon Corman books, This Can't Be Happening at MacDonald Hall, and Beware the Fish, all the great Canadian content, and very, very funny, silly, great books. So yeah, just always been a reader. How did you discover Booktube? I discovered Booktube through my other love, which I guess was podcasts, listening to The Readers, and Simon Savage, who ended up making his own Booktube channel, and me kind of checking that out. And I think I was vaguely aware of it before then, but then it's like, oh, listening to Simon talk about other booktubers, and then watching the other booktubers and sort of finding my own little niche of people that I enjoyed that way. So that's how I got into Booktube. What challenges do you think you will face with your channel? Probably the first one's going to be lack of confidence and need to be perfect, which is part of the lack of confidence thing of never good enough. Time, just having the time to do it. I'm trying to do it very stripped back channel. This is just, I'm going to talk to the camera, I'm going to turn it off, and then that's going to get posted. No editing. And number 3 is, I guess it's being seen, which kind of goes back to number 1 of the confidence thing of, I have a lot of trouble with having an audience. I've tried to do writing, but I don't want to show anyone my work. And there's that whole being seen thing. And so this, in some ways, doing this is a, strangely enough, it's a less high stakes way of me being seen than it would be if I was just writing and submitting my work. This is just me talking in the camera. Can't be that serious, can it? So, hey, let me just do that. So I'm going to have to deal with getting comments, and it'll be the time factor of actually dealing with, like, am I supposed to respond to people's comments? Because I don't think I have time for that, but who knows? And yeah, then that's no offense to people who are on the thing. I'm not a very big comment person. Most of the time I think of a comment and go, I'm sure someone else has made that comment, and sure enough, if you big enough comment list, yeah, someone's always made the comment, so why do I need to just chip in my little 2 cents? Which I don't know if that is my problem or if that's the general population's problem. It's probably my problem. Where else can we find you online? I have an account on Goodreads, but I literally only use Goodreads really as just a book tracker itself. I have very, very, very few friends. I don't have any actual people I know or just talk to. I have people who are theoretically my friends online, friends on Goodreads, but it's just like we just see each other's books, but we don't really converse and stuff like that. Facebook, I think it's like my wife is my only thing, because I just check her feed to see what she's doing, because sometimes she doesn't talk to me. Well, sometimes I'll learn things about what's going on with her through Facebook, which I wouldn't seem, for some reason, we didn't get through a face-to-face, which it's funny, because I think for the most part we do actually converse enough, but it's funny what I learn on Facebook about her. But it's like, I only want to know about my wife. I don't care about all these millions and billions of other people. Hi, millions and billions of other, well, hi, 2 or 3 other people who are watching this. So yeah, that's my new to Booktube tag. I'm probably doing this all wrong, just as I did Goodreads wrong and I did Facebook wrong. So I plan to do it all wrong here too. So that's it for now. More videos later. Bye.